pleased to welcome you to Grant County High School as we gather in observance of Child Abuse Prevention Month. Child abuse awareness and prevention is an issue of highest importance to those of us entrusted daily with our county's children. When you look into the eyes of young lives, whether they're preschool children or young adults at Grant County High School, ready to face the world, and you see pain rather than joy, sadness rather than laughter, and distrust rather than hope, you realize how critical is the work of everyone gathered here today. Today, however, as we pause to observe this occasion established to bring attention to the prevention of child abuse, we must realize we are still in the middle of the journey. Today is just a short pause for a time of reflection, remembrance, and most importantly, recommitment to do whatever it takes to support our families so that our children's homes, their acquaintances, their schools, and their communities provide a safe place for them to grow and learn. We are most pleased to work shoulder to shoulder in partnership with outstanding representatives from throughout the community who share in our commitment. It is a demonstration of teamwork, commitment, service, and sacrifice to protect those who are weaker than ourselves. As a shining example of this type of dedication, we have our JROTC here today representing our servicemen and women who protect this great Commonwealth and nation. At this time, I would like to invite you to stand in honor of their sacrifice for the presentation of colors.
Harry, colors. Forward, march. All right, march. Mark time, march. Color guard, halt. Left, base. Present, arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Right, base. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Order, halt. Order, colors.
At this time, I would like to invite Joel Griffith, Director of Programs and Services for Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, to come forward, please.
Good morning. It's okay to say good morning. Like I said, my name is Joel Griffith. I'm really excited and honored to be here today. Often when I give these kind of talks and presentations across the state, I tell folks that I feel at home. And it's because of Kentucky hospitality. No matter where I am in this state, I really do feel at home. But here in Grant County is where I live. I've been here for 30 years, so this in fact is home, and I feel like I'm among friends. I've been doing child welfare work for about 30 years. I worked in DCBS social services for 25 years, and for about the past 5 years, I've worked for Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. That's allowed me to move from focusing on intervention into the area of prevention. So let me tell you just a little bit about Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. We're a small statewide nonprofit agency that has a mission of preventing child abuse and neglect. We try to achieve our mission through some strategies, training. We try to teach folks in our communities about the dynamics and the reality of child abuse and neglect. We try to raise awareness by supporting important events like this one, so people not only recognize the reality of child abuse and neglect, but they recognize and understand their role in prevention. We engage in advocacy. By that I mean we spend time in Frankfurt and other areas speaking with decision makers so we can help prevention become a reality in our communities and a public priority. Parent education is the other strategy we utilize. We try to provide education and support to parents so they can have what they need to become stronger families. So that's enough about us. I just want to talk a few minutes about you here in Grant County and your efforts today. Let me begin by thanking Grant County for today's event. It's incredibly important. And while it's always a team effort pulling things like this off, I do think that probably a special thanks is owed to Carla Hurley and for her role in planning this event, so thank you, Carla. I've had the good fortune to be involved in prevention efforts and awareness-raising efforts throughout the state, and for many years actually, and I can honestly say that Grant County is a model of how you do it right. It's a model of collaboration, of partnership, and it's a model that results in better outcomes for children. So Grant County deserves recognition for all they've done prior to this in this history of collaboration. I also want to emphasize the importance of what you're doing here today. Its importance to families cannot be understated. In this auditorium are the individuals who can forge the social change necessary to make prevention a reality in our communities. There's elected officials here, policymakers, teachers, neighbors, relatives, law enforcement, and perhaps most importantly, the youth are here in this room. The youth hold our future. There's great potential for gathering in this room, in this auditorium. Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky has chosen the phrase commit to prevent as our theme for April and beyond April. Grant County, you have managed to assemble those people necessary to make that commitment a reality. One of the things I get to do in my job at Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky is compile research and provide training. And I could go on and on about data and research. I really enjoy that piece. But I want to share with you just a couple pieces of information which I think are important and exemplify why today's event is so important. One area of recent study is the financial cost of child abuse and neglect. A recent Center for Disease Control study found that the lifetime cause of one single event of child abuse and neglect, non-fatal child abuse and neglect, is $210,000 over the lifetime of that victim. That includes investigations, court, trauma treatment, medical care, and loss of productivity. So that means that based on that $210,000 for each incident, the 245 kids that were abused or neglected in Grant County last year alone are going to cost our economy $51 million over the lifetime of those children. This event is important because we simply cannot afford not to prevent child abuse and neglect. Carla is quoted in the Grant County News last week about the importance of being hopeful about our prevention campaigns. And there is reason to be hopeful. We can be hopeful because we know our efforts produce results. Raising awareness and providing education changes behaviors. A fascinating study was done of teenagers, and they asked teenagers, have you ever been assaulted? Have you ever been abused or neglected? Then they asked, did you tell anyone? They did that study about 10 years or 15 years ago. 10 years later, they did the same study with a different cohort of teenagers, And while the rate of assaults stayed about the same, the rate of children who reported to someone that they were abused and neglected had doubled in that 10 years. That undoubtedly is related to our effort to educate youth and educate the community about their ability or the right to be safe and the need to tell someone. There's also a hopeful body of research around training and educating parents. We know that by training new parents about the dangers of shaking, about how to soothe an infant, and about the importance of walking away when you're frustrated with a child, we can dramatically reduce the incidence of shaken baby syndrome in our communities. We are hopeful because we know that prevention works. So what's the next step here in Grant County? Well, first, we need to be resolute in our willingness to commit to prevent. I would like to share a local example of this commitment, and I realize there's lots of people here in this auditorium that do important things every day, but I would like to single out and highlight a Grant County student who I believe exemplifies this commitment to prevention. Stuart Smith, I'm going to embarrass you, so if you would come up here, please. Stuart recently ran in the first annual Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky Commit to Prevent 5K. It was last Saturday. Not only did Stuart finish 5th out of 150 runners, which I thought was pretty impressive, he also was recognized as the individual that raised the most money as an individual. He raised $250 for prevention across the state. So I would like to publicly thank you, Stuart, at this important Grant County event for your commitment to prevention and the example you've set for others. I have a t-shirt for you that says Commit to Prevent, and I heard you tell your mom that you like chocolate, so I have chocolate. Nothing shows appreciation like chocolate. Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate it. In closing, I hope all of you recognize today's event is just a start. It's a beginning where we need to create an important dialogue. Then we all must make a commitment. We need to make a commitment to learn more, to talk more, to listen more, to act more, and to reach out and strengthen families more. I thank each of you for inviting Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky here today, for your attention, and for all that you do for children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Griffin. At this time, I would like to introduce some special friends of mine from the Family Nurturing Center. Their names are Jessica Graff, Wendy McSwain Ryan, and Michelle Davis, and they are going to do a performance of Concrete Angel.
She walks to school with a lunchie packed. Nobody knows what she's holding back. Wearing the same dress she wore yesterday. She hides the bruises with linen and lace. The teacher wonders, but she doesn't ask. It's hard to see the pain behind the mask. Bearing the burden of a secret storm. Sometimes she wishes she was never born. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise above. But her dreams give her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel. Somebody cries in the middle of the night. The neighbors hear, but they turn out the lights. A fragile soul caught in the hands of fate. When morning comes, it'll be too late. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise above. But her dreams give her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel. A statue stands in a shaded place. An angel girl with an upturned face. Her name is written on a polished rock. A broken heart that the world forgot. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise above. But her dreams give her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel.
Great job to Jessica, Wendy, and Michelle, and to Williamstown High School FCCLA. Thank you everyone so much. Great job. Let's put our faces on. At this time, I would like to invite our Grant County Judge Executive, Daryl Link, to the podium to read the Child Abuse Proclamation for Grant County.
Good morning. To all whom these presents shall come, whereas child abuse is a community problem and finding solutions depends on involvement among people throughout the community, and whereas approximately 3 million children are reported abused and neglected in this country each year, and almost 8,000 were reported last year in Kentucky, and 694 abuses were reported in Grant County. And whereas the effects of child abuse are felt by whole communities and need to be addressed by the entire community, and whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among families, social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas all citizens shall become more aware of the negative effects of child abuse and its prevention within their communities and become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe and nurturing environment. And whereas several statewide and community-based organizations, including the Family Nurturing Center, have as their purpose to prevent child abuse and neglect in our state. Now therefore, I, Daryl L. Link, Judge Executive of Grant County, do hereby proclaim the month of April 20 and 14 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month. And let me say a few words. I first want to apologize to you because my generation and maybe a generation or two that has followed me in parenting has failed you in many ways. It is unfortunate that we still have to talk about child abuse in our community. But I'm thankful that there are committees such as this one in Grant County led by Carla that still are striving to make us aware so that one day child abuse would end. And I want to specifically talk to you teenagers that are in this auditorium today. You can stop it. And you can stop it by maybe employing some very simple things in your future homes that one day that you will abide in. When you have children, I think it's important that you read to them, that you would start early and that you would read to them on a regular basis. When you have children, unlike my generation and maybe some older generations where it was difficult for a parent to say to a child, I love you on a daily basis, you will have the opportunity to make a difference and say, I love you to your child on a daily basis. And I think one of the things that we are stopping to do more and more each and every day, I hope we return to this simple practice and that we would gather as families around a table at least once a day, and that we would join hands together as family and pray and eat and dine as a family. I know that we've had an opportunity to do that, and I believe it's made a tremendous difference in our household, and we look forward to that every time that we gather. You all can make a difference. You all can stop child abuse so that one day when one of you is judge executive or maybe governor or president of the United States or CEO of some company, you're going to do something large and you're going to do something huge. But I can't think of a larger accomplishment than to stop child abuse in our homes. Thank you.
This time I would like to invite the Grant County Chamber Choir to come forward, please. great job with Grant County High School Chamber Choir and to Mrs. Clubman. Thank you so much. I would like to introduce our next speaker. Her name is Carol Lappin, and she is the Director of Prevention Services at the Family Nurturing Center.
I must say, Grant County really knows how to put on an event. This is just fabulous. My office is located in Florence, but we travel all over the northern Kentucky, and we bring services down here to all the schools, the parenting programs we offer down here. We do the kids on the block, the puppets. I'm sure some of you have seen them in your school when you were in elementary school. So our whole focus is on child abuse prevention, and we also do some treatment services too here in Grant County. When Mrs. Carla Hurley contacted me, well, first I talked to her about, I said, we need to be doing even more in Grant County, and she's like, she stood up and said, hey, I'm going to take charge of this, I'm going to make this happen, we're going to paint Grant County blue in the month of April, and I'm like, wow. And then suddenly we pulled together this meeting, and all of these partners in the community came together and said, this is what we're going to do, and they came up with all these fabulous, exciting ideas. And then today to come here and see it all come into play is just so exciting. And yeah, you do know how to put on an event like this, and it goes to show how much the people here really care. And I'd like to address first to the youth in the room. It's pretty exciting, I think, for you to be living in this county, to have adults that are sitting in this room around here and behind me that really care about you and are really big into keeping you safe and sound. And if you have siblings, keeping them safe and sound, younger siblings. So I think we need to give them an applause for how they are really putting on this effort to make sure you are cared for. So let's applaud. And I'd like to challenge all of the adults in the room to think about, through the rest of today, 10 children that are involved in your life, that are either in your family or in your school, your work, whatever, and keep them in mind and think about what are ways that you can do to continue to keep them safe. Just making sure their surroundings are safe, whatever, because it's a daily effort that we have to do to keep children safe, not just the month of April, but all year long. So we have to continue to be alert and aware that there are all sorts of risks out there for children, and we need to make sure that we're keeping them safe. So thank you so much for putting this off, and it's just really exciting to be here with you today. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Shannon Carney to the microphone. She is the Regional Network Coordinator for this is a big title, a big word, Northern Kentucky Community Action Center Collaboration for Children.
Good morning. As Carla stated, I'm Shannon Carney with Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission's Community Collaboration for Children. I know that's a mouthful. What we do is we provide services such as in-home services for families that need parenting, have any parenting needs. We also provide family team meetings to bring together the family and service providers to discuss needs of the family. And our regional network provides activities to remind the region that child abuse prevention is a community responsibility. We hold our regional network meetings here in Grant County at the Dry Ridge Christian Church, and we have funds every year for child abuse prevention activities, as well as fatherhood and faith-based funds. We would love to have everyone attend and help decide how our funds should be spent. And I'd like to say real quickly, as Carol had mentioned, April, just because April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, does not mean that we shouldn't be making prevention efforts throughout the entire year. If you have any questions on what you can do, or any questions about family members or friends that you may be concerned about, there's plenty of organizations here that can help you, such as Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, Family Nurturing Center, and Community Action Commission as well. And I would like to thank Carla and the rest of the committee for Paint the Town Blue for inviting us here today. Thank you.
recognition of our community partners, please? That would be Ms. Allison, Ms. Kelly, Ms. Krista, Ms. Marianne, Ms. Danielle, and Ms. Nancy. I just realized I skipped ahead. I didn't bring my glasses today. Our community is very blessed to have community partners who work on a daily basis to help ensure that our children are safe. And at this time, Grant County and Williamstown School would like to recognize some of those community partners. When I call your name, or when I call the community partner, would everyone that is here representing please come forward? First, we would like to recognize the Family Nurturing Center. We recognize them for their outstanding efforts in the awareness and prevention of child abuse. Next, we would like to recognize Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services, the Protection and Permanency Team. We would also like to recognize the Grant County Sheriff's Department. Williamstown Police Department. The Bank of Kentucky. Kentucky over the past 10 years has raised over $150,000 for the Family Nurturing Center and their efforts for prevention of child. Northern Kentucky Community Action Center. We would also like to recognize NECO for all the in-home and in-school-based services they provide to our children. Ms. Tracy Maines, would you come forward, please? Sit back there like you didn't hear me. And we have North Key. That's crazy. Let's give all of us wonderful community partners a big hand, please. Thank you all very much. Thank you for all the work you do with our kids, keeping them safe. I would like to invite Jamie Nance of Great County News and Mary Lou Willoughby to the stand, please. I'm sorry, I missed that one.
I promise to be very, very brief. It was an honor today to be asked to be here. For child abuse awareness is a thing near and dear to my heart. I worked as a coroner and in EMS in this county for over 30 years, so I had the opportunity to see many of the effects of child abuse. So I've continued to work for our awareness program. The world of child abuse is certainly not pretty. One year I was tasked with putting up the display at the library, and that year the statistics were 487 reported cases, not all substantiated, but 487 cases, and we placed a pinwheel for all 487. And as I was putting each of those in the ground, you know, I couldn't help but say a little prayer for those that had been affected. And, you know, to think 487, and this was just Grant County. So my task this year, though, is to promote Decorate for Blue, to put your pinwheels and your blue ribbons up in displays. Jamie and I are going to be judging the houses and the businesses throughout the county. We encourage all businesses to tie blue ribbons on things and put things on your doors and anything you can do for blue ribbons. We've extended the deadline till April the 18th, but if you decide to decorate your home or your business and you want to enter it, then just call the Grant County News and we'll see that you get judged about it. The weather and a lot of blue and white decorations for UK for the past few days kind of interfered, so we pushed the deadline back. So we would like for you to paint Grant County blue, paint it with ribbons, paint it with paint if you want to. We don't care. We just want to bring awareness, bring awareness to the issue of child abuse, and that each and every one of you have the power in your hands to prevent it, to recognize it, to see it, to report it, to help those that have been abused. Thank you.
The only thing I would add to that is do not ever think that one person does not make a difference. Making the right choice makes a difference.
I'm going to add a little blurb in there. Let's not go vandalizing with blue or anything. We don't want Officer Lee and Officer Reed back there arresting anyone. All right, at this time, I would like to introduce members of the Williamstown Chamber Choir and Ms. Tanya Fox from Williamstown High School.
You've seen the pain I've tried so hard to hide. My secrets now exposed are no longer locked inside. But I'm more than just my story, and I will not become another lost soul in the crowd. That fate I will become. I'm gonna soar on the wings of eagles.
And I would also like to thank Marcy Walters and Jeff Jackson for composing the music for the song. To conclude our ceremony, I would like to say thank you to my Family Resource Center friends and colleagues, Allison Mortensen, Marianne Smith, Nancy Powell, Daniel Haley, Kelly West, Phyllis Case, and Paul Cookendorfer, and to my colleagues at Grant County and Williamstown Schools. Your assistance and support of the Paint Grant County Blue Child Abuse Prevention Campaign is very much and greatly appreciated. A special thank you also goes to the wonderful Grant County and Williamstown students, the community partners and performers who made today's ceremony touching and unforgettable. Most importantly, I thank each and every one of you that are here today. Thank you for attending, and thank you for your genuine love and concern for the students, the children in Grant County. Last week during the Blue Ribbon ceremony, Janie Hunt, Executive Director of Family Nurturing Center, made a profound statement when she said, "There is power in prevention." Ladies and gentlemen, that power of prevention is in this room today. United, we are a powerful force with the capability of creating a strong foundation for nurturing families and assisting families in overcoming challenges and barriers that they may face. Together, let us continually strive to achieve a positive change in the lives of children and families in Grant County, throughout Kentucky, and all across America. Thank you all so much.